our speakers, and of course, who is behind today's session. So here are our dear guests. I will, of course, introduce them separately in a moment. But before that, who is behind today's session? This is My German University, a database where you can find fully or partially English taught study programs. Now you can even find fully German taught study programs. So in case after your master's you want to do a second master in German, you can also use this database to browse for relevant programs. The study finder that you see right now is only a demo version, and in a real study finder you have much more filters which can help you to find relevant suitable programs in a short period of time, and see all the program details in one place, so you don't have to switch from window to window. Also, a nice thing is that we have free articles. Those articles are about various topics, and you can read them in case something is interesting, while we have country-specific articles again, especially and frequently asked is about visa issues, and here we have country-specific things about scholarships as well, so feel free to check them out. And in addition, those articles are translated in different languages, so maybe you can also enjoy them reading in your native language as well. And of course, we have webinars. These webinars are of two big groups. In general webinars, when we talk about broader topics like studying in Germany, visa, scholarship, or UniAssist, my colleagues Marie and Oliver are happy to share information about that. And then we also have a 30 minutes live Q&A interaction to stay connected and also answer your questions. And then we have subject webinars when usually my German University team is more behind the scenes, because we have guest speakers from German universities, and we are always very thankful for them to give this time to present, and in addition even answer your questions, especially, for example, if you're already in the process of application and you have something urgent to ask. This is a nice chance to use the platform. And of course, our team, all these people work hard for my German University, and we are happy to share our insights about studying in the country with you. Now, as I said, if you filter for mechanical engineering, computational engineering programs in the study finder, so this is how it looks. And all of these filters have additional sub-filters. So you can apply program features, which, for example, include some requirements about work experience or specific language knowledge. You can control for university types. If you don't know what university types are, I will briefly also mention them today. But yeah, there are options here, like, for example, just simply private, public, and all the different things. Regarding finances, additional requirements, for example, English test scores if you already have specific IELTS or TOEFL results available, and you are searching for programs that will accept your point. You can also control for programs according to this, and some application things. Of course, the very first thing will be natural breakdown into bachelor and master. Here you have the relevant programs, and then in case you are not ready to start your studies right away in German, then you can also filter for English only programs, but it could be the case that some of them also still have German component as a German course, so don't be scared in this regard. We also have subject pages where you can see general overview of important information about the subject of, for example, mechanical engineering in application, language requirements, tuition fees, rankings, etc., etc. Additional thing or advice would be to always search and check out each program profile, because just big names like fees, rankings, and names, city names, don't always show the full picture of a program. Therefore, it's always very important to check out the programs carefully and decide according to that. I mentioned that you can, for example, control for programs according to university type. So One of them is the universities and University of Applied Sciences. In Germany, there is a difference between them. I know not in many countries there are these types of universities, so I just want to briefly mention that universities usually offer programs that are more research and theory oriented, and University of Applied Sciences have more application and practice oriented programs. There were some differentiations in terms of further PhD possibilities and doing it with the University of Applied Sciences, but now these differences are also vanished to some extent, and we even have an article about it. So if you want to know the historic differences and so on, feel free to check that out, or if you are interested, let me know. I can also post it in the chat. Additional thing would be to search programs by subject, not by program name, because you will not be able to guess the program name exactly. And then if you are trying to search by program name, many programs could be missed out. So yeah, it's easier to search by subject. All right, now, as I promised, the most interesting part will begin soon, so it will begin now, because we have the first speaker, Professor Dr. Ronny Gerber, who will be talking about Master Scientific Instrumentation from Hochschule Jena, University of Applied Sciences. For all programs, you will see a short information, for example, the application deadline and the location on the map, but it's not that important because you will have the whole presentation just now. Professor, you can take the mic.
Okay, so I think everybody can see my screen so far. So hello, welcome. Also, thank you for the introduction, Nino. I want to present our master course, Master in Scientific Instrumentation at the Ernst-Abbe-Hochschule, which is, as Nino explained, a University of Applied Science with more practical emphasis than in comparison to a classical university in Germany. Before I want to start, I want to give you a brief overview where Jena is located and what is typical for the town of Jena. Jena is a small town, a small city in the free state of Thuringia with about 111,000 inhabitants. It has two universities, the classical university, Friedrich Schiller University, and also the university I'm working for, it's the University of Applied Sciences. As you can see here, Jena is almost located in the center of Germany, with about 3 hours by train to reach one of the bigger cities with the main airport so far. What is important for Jena? This is also the transition to the course Scientific Instrumentation, is that Jena is a so-called high technology city, and the foundation was made by three persons. First one is Carl Zeiss. He was an industrialist, and he produced different kinds of optical systems like microscopes. Finally, he found out that only trial and error doesn't make any sense, and so he made some collaboration with Ernst Abbe, and so he made some principal physics regarding optics. And the final person is Otto Schott, who was a material scientist, and he developed different kinds of glasses for enabling the optical systems. And Jena is mostly related to different kinds of optical systems, and also our master course is addressed to these field of optical technologies, optical systems, in collaboration with some other topics. Okay, let's focus on Jena as also some other city. As mentioned before, it's a high technology city, it's a high innovative city, and here you will find lots of different kinds of companies. I put some names here on the list on the left, like Schott and Zeiss. I think they could be known, but there are even more companies which are also called hidden players, because they are involved in different kinds of business. But most of the persons do not know the name. For example, like Göbel Electronic, or companies or research labs like Fraunhofer, companies like Lasos. But they have some collaboration with one of the major companies dealing worldwide so far. Okay, let's talk shortly about the city. As mentioned before, Jena has about 111,000 inhabitants. It's surrounded by mountains, and from each place in the city, you have maximum 10 minutes to reach the countryside. It's a very cozy city with lots of atmosphere. You can walk around, you can make lots of tours in the nature. There's also a river where you can spend lots of the time near or on the river itself, and also has different kinds of other possibilities to enjoy the life next to the studies. But we want to focus on our course, which is called Scientific Instrumentation. And so I want to focus even more on our subjects, on our courses so far. As you can see here, this is our university campus, which is somehow located next to each other. So we have in total 6 buildings. We have about 4,300 students. Out of these 4,300 students, we have about 1,100 students from abroad. What is also important, we have some very big, or in relation to our university size, we have some very large fundraising in the range of 30 million. Next to this, we have totally about 60 PhD projects, and our university offers in total 27 bachelor courses and 22 master courses. And one of them is the Master in Scientific Instrumentation, which is currently ranked at position number 16 of the well-known or accepted courses all over Germany so far. Okay, let's focus on our course, Scientific Instrumentation. Nino explained that we talk about different courses like mechanical engineering, but however, scientific instrumentation is not classical mechanical engineering. It's a very interdisciplinary approach we are using, and which is based for our education here at the university. And as mentioned before, our approach is that we want to introduce different kinds of technologies, different kinds of theory, but also our focus is the practical application of different kinds of systems so far. And so our students, they are in charge to attend different kinds of lab courses to apply their knowledge which they gained through the lectures so far. Okay, let's talk about the master course, Scientific Instrumentation. I explained that we have this interdisciplinary approach. So we are interested in students with different kinds of backgrounds like mechanical engineering, but also electrical engineering, material sciences, and also physicists. So this means our course is divided in 4 semesters, and the first semester is used to get all of the students to some kind of the same knowledge so far. This means in the first semester, the students have to attend different kinds of required elective modules, depending on their pre-education in their bachelor. If they have some kind of a more background, which is related to mechanics, then the students have to attend modules regarding physics and microsystem engineering and electronics. If you would have some kind of a background in physics or physical engineering, then you have to attend different kinds of modules regarding design, FEM, this means simulation, and also electronic hardware systems. And if your background is more related to electronic engineering, then you have to attend the combination of both. You have to attend modules for design, FEM, and also solid state physics, that all of the students will have the possibility to focus their studies in the second semester. Next to these required elective modules, all of the students have to attend one module called Physical Material Diagnostics and Quality Management, which is also very important, especially for the students who want to work in industry, that they will gain some kind of a more a higher knowledge regarding these quality management approaches. And next to this, we have a module which is called Scientific Writing and Presentation. And for the student from abroad, they have to attend German courses, because we have identified that the knowledge of the German language is quite important for working and also for living in Germany. Okay, what is else? The second semester, the students can select 4 out of, in total, 9 modules. These modules are related to different kinds of physical modules like materials, so sensor electronics. There the students will investigate different kinds of materials which they can use for building up different kinds of sensor systems. We have also a module called Gas Sensing and Aerosol Management, dealing with, as the name has said, how to measure different kinds of gases. Optical instruments, it's a subject which is very important, especially for the students who want to work later on in Jena, because optics is the main field here. We also are dealing with different kinds of technologies and subjects in the region of micro and nanotechnology, as the students learn how to form and how to produce different kinds of micro and nanostructures. Then for the students with more mechanical interests, they have also modules, or one module they can choose, which is related to FEM and finite element simulation. A module called Advanced 3D Design, which is more than only using design tools here. The students will, they have to attend different kinds of courses to develop products so far. Then we have a module called Precision Instrumentation, which means that the students will get the information, they get the knowledge how to develop different kinds of complex technical systems. And these quadricopters are a typical example because there you have a combination of actuators, you have lots of sensors, you have an electronics so far. And for the students who are more interested in electronics and computing, we have also one module which is related to scientific computing, how to handle different kinds of data. And one final subject, which is the interested, or which most of the students are interested now, are related to data science and machine learning, because these approaches are quite important nowadays, especially for development of systems for the future. Okay, this was the second semester. The third semester, there we currently have included one research internship where the students should apply their knowledge directly in industry at different kinds of research labs. Most of the students decide to go abroad or to some other company in Germany and work, and will learn lots of how to apply their knowledge in a practical environment. And the fourth semester is, I wouldn't say occupied, but it's covered with a master thesis where the students have to show that they're able to work for their own on a given topic. And final exam is the colloquium where the students have to present their results out of their master thesis. Okay, let's focus on our course and also our admission requirements. As mentioned before, we are interested to have students from different kinds of fields. So our for getting the admission, you need to have a bachelor degree in physics or physics engineering, electronics or electronic engineering, material sciences, mechatronics or precision engineering, instrumentation, also mechanical engineering, but in general, each and every engineering and science program which has some relation to techniques, technology, then this would fit to our course so far. And for sure, our main language of education is English, at least the technical modules, they all are in English. And so the students has to fulfill different kinds of requirements regarding their English knowledge. And this is given by these yields overall band score of about 6. Because, as mentioned before, English is the language we are talking about in our lecture so far. Okay, let's talk about something about the application procedure. As you can see here, our application deadline, or the application is already possible since December last year, and our application will close at the 1st of April. The lectures will start in mid of October. For applying, the students from abroad, so outside of the European Union, they have to pay some application fee. This is needed because we have to check different kinds of certificates. We have to organize everything. But this is only needed for the application process. Once you will be accepted, then you have to pay in an administrative semester fee, which is currently in the range of 288 to 290 euros. But this includes several topics. It will include several kinds of aspects which are beneficial for the students. I will talk about later on. Okay, so what are important for the students who are from abroad? For sure, the expenses the students normally have to give. Jena, as mentioned before, this is something, it's a town, so you have to get some rent, or you have to get some kind of an apartment. And so we summarize the costs which are somehow usual at our university, which are based on different kinds of information we got from students. Also, this semester fee is separated to every month. So this means in total, students can live with about 800 to 900 euros per month so far. And as mentioned before, you have to pay a semester fee. You need some kind of an apartment. We approximated that you need about 250 euros for food. You have to pay a health insurance. So this is valid for all of the universities in Germany, which is currently in the range, I think, of 120, 125 euros. And for sure, other needs are also included in these calculations. So about 800 to 900 euros. This is something the students have to plan for their monthly expenses so far. Okay, what is also offered by our university is for sure some kind of a tutor program, especially for the students who come from abroad. They are quite new. They have to learn the German way of working, the German way of living. And so we introduced some kind of a tutor program to support the students from abroad. And this tutor program includes different kinds of pickup service that students will organize or will get some contact persons, and they will be picked up when they will arrive in Jena. They also will get some assistance by other students regarding different kinds of registration assistances. So this means everything which related to the official procedure regarding, for example, getting some visa. And also they will introduce in the general way of studying here at the university. So this means that the students will be contact persons, or the tutors will be contact persons for the newer batches so far, so that the new students will get some support, especially from the beginning. Okay, what else is included at our university? For sure, at the beginning, we also offer different kinds of more intensive German courses, and also kind of cultural program to welcome the students from abroad. This means before the semester will start, there's a possibility that student can attend a 2-week German course online. Once the students will arrive in Germany, they also will get some support, and there will different kinds of programs that students can meet each other. With the welcome dinner, there are different kinds of tours in the planetarium, in the hiking, or making some hiking trails so far, so that the students know the city and also the way of living somehow in Jena, and where they can reach different kinds of organization, where they can reach different kinds of places so far. Okay, what else is included at our university? We have some department dealing especially with the needs of students from abroad. And so we also are aware that students are interested in different kinds of company visits. And so we always try to enable different kinds of field trips to other German cities, to the landscape. But very important for the students is also to know something about industry and not German company. So this means that on a regular basis, we will organize different kinds of production plan visits or visits of companies, that students first of all know the company and also get some information, get some knowledge about the way different companies will work here in Germany, which is also quite, I would say, different, but the students can learn how the German companies, especially in the near of Jena, are normally work. And as a final aspect, we also have some kind of an international career service. This means our students, especially from abroad, get some additional support regarding document checks, regarding intercultural trainings. We have lots of other German courses. So this means we also offer possibilities that students get some support while writing application forms so far. So this means we have some international or some persons with speciality or with some special field international background, and they are very supportive, and they try to support the students from abroad somehow as much as possible. Okay, what else is quite important? Our university also offers some general scholarships. Students who are studying at our university could apply for the so-called 𝘱𝘢𝘕𝘓𝑔𝑑𝑒. This is mostly related to students beginning from the 3rd semester, that they will get some additional monthly income. And there the base will be different kinds of good grades, and also different other commitments, different other activities students are doing. Then if the students have very good grades, then there's also a possibility to apply for this DAAD prize here at the university. And this is valid only for international students. Then we had a scholarship which are related to end of study, that students who has good grades are enabled to finalize their studies so far. And for sure, there will be some additional grant from the city center of university. This means that students could get some support. I think this is 120 euros for the first year. But however, there are different kinds of other scholarships available here at the university, and also in the city of Jena, so that students could apply for different kinds of additional financial support so far. Okay, I think this was somehow a brief overview about our university, about our course. Next to me is also Miss Nancy Reichel. She is the most responsible person, especially because she is the course coordinator, and she is mostly in contact with different kinds of students. And I'm very happy that Nancy will assist me now, because she is mostly able to answer lots of the administrative questions. And I want to thank you for your attention, and I'm open for any kind of question.
Thank you very much, Professor, for all the details you provided. You obviously answered many questions with the slides, and thank you very much, Nancy, for taking the questions in Q&A. This helps a lot. We can then discuss some of them again during the live Q&A. Now I would like to share the screen. And let's listen to the second program, which is Master in Satellite Technology. That will be presented by Professor Dr. Andreas Nutter. And as I mentioned, dear attendees, don't search for programs according to program names. So you would not guess that, all this that was mentioned, the previous one and now satellite technology. So always check out the subjects. And on this note, and
now you should be able to see my screen. I'm Andreas Nutter. I'm the head and speaker of the study program Satellite Technology in Würzburg. And well, satellite technology is a relatively new subject, and I always want to focus in my in educating students to bring the students to good companies worldwide. So I have here a list of companies where I managed to bring my students in who actually have written their bachelor or their master thesis with me, let's say Andreas. They are all located now on the west coast of the US, and as we know, on the west coast of the US, there are also companies active like Amazon, like SpaceX, like Starlink, and so on. So there's a lot of progress actually going on in the areas of computer science, or we sometimes in Germany we call this informatics. And to this end, there's also a lot of progress going into the area of satellite technology. Yeah, so satellite technology is addressing satellites and satellite technology from the perspective of computer science. Yeah, this is actually a very special program. It's heavily funded currently by the elite network of Bavaria. This is a special funding program by the Bavarian Ministry of Science and Arts, and they have put a lot of money into building the study program Satellite Technology and to attract actually good students, good master students to Würzburg. Würzburg is actually a nice small city well, I already said this, in Bavaria. Bavaria is a part of Germany which may even be known outside of Germany, yeah, since special cultures and so on. And if you go to all stereotypes you find about Germany, you mainly go to stereotypes you find in Bavaria. But the central part of Bavaria is actually very south of Germany, and we are, let's say, in the north of Bavaria. We are actually closer to Frankfurt than to Munich. Yeah, Würzburg is a nice and attractive city with 130,000 inhabitants, and so to say, a lot of persons move to Würzburg who feel Munich, for instance, as too crowded. Also, a lot of students move to Würzburg as Munich is too crowded, and Munich is much more expensive than Würzburg, and that's why we are able to attract a lot of students. A few facts and figures about Würzburg. Actually, we are, as I said, located in Bavaria and between Frankfurt and Munich, and usually students fly into Frankfurt and then it's one hour by train and you are at the central station of Würzburg. Würzburg is actually the start of this romantic road, and romantic road is a street through Germany with all the cultural signs and this road starts here in Würzburg and ends actually very south. So we attract a lot of tourists. We have a lot of art and culture, and we actually have a UNESCO World Heritage that's actually shown here at the bottom left. This is the Würzburg residence. Our university is one of the oldest universities in Germany. I think it's the third oldest university. We have 28,000 students. So out of the 130,000 citizens of Würzburg, 28,000 students are enrolled at our university, and we have 2,700 students, roughly one-tenth of the students are international students. And we aim actually at increasing the international share of the students. We have roughly 55 SATEC students only. As I said, it's funded by the elite network of Bavaria, so we are highly selective and we select students that can do this. We are roughly 10 faculties, 55 institutions, and we run 250 degree programs, and we have nearly 300 full professors who teach here. So a full professor has several assistant and associated professors and are also equipped with other teaching staff. The university is actually highly ranked. It's ranked number 3 in Bavaria. There, of course, number 1 and 2 are these universities in Munich, and the third one is the university in Würzburg. We actually are a computer science department who run this program, and we have broad faculty teaching computer science from efficient algorithms to software engineering to computer vision. But a few of these professors actually focus on satellite technology. And one of these professors is actually 𝘱𝘢𝘕𝘓. He looks into satellite communication, and he looks into issues like Starlink. This is what Elon Musk does with his satellites, and there are also several competing satellite companies. But he also looks into quantum communication, so how to make the links between satellites and the up and downlink secure using key exchange based on quantum methods. We have 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘈. He is actually looking into controlling rockets using artificial intelligence method, since we also, or basically everyone, wants to be able to land rockets on a swimming platform, as I always say. So methods used there, you will learn from 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘯𝘨. We have 𝘱𝘢𝘧montenegro. He is one of the satellite builders at University of Würzburg. He actually builds satellites and operates satellites and does everything that is related to aerospace computer science. Also, Professor Hakan Kayal, he is doing aerospace engineering, and he also operates satellites into space. He has its own ground stations. He has its own labs using or with clean rooms, and he produces satellites that actually work. Marco Schmidt looks at sensors for satellites, especially equipping satellites with sensor systems that observe the Earth. I myself, I'm a roboticist, and I'm looking in all robotic parts which are associated with satellite technology. Yeah, so as a broad developer. I will come to me a little bit later. Last but not least, we have Matthias Jung. He is doing computer engineering, and as a computer engineer, he is actually also looking into communication, so radio amateur. You can also contact him using his radio amateur address. And last but not least, we also have open positions, and open positions means that we have an open positions in satellite systems, which is close to be filled with Khalil Ben-Labi soon, and he will also build satellites. All of our faculty, which you may look here around, you can click on everybody, is very proud on academic achievements, and usually academic achievements you are addressing with an excellent in research, and you are proud of, let's say, how many people cite you, and we all run Google Scholar and put our publications there and are happy if the complete world cites us. Yeah, you can check out the faculty pages and Google the names who run the program to get actually an impression of what's are expected you or what you can expect from studying here. I myself, as a roboticist, was always fascinated on mobile robots running on different planetary bodies like the Moon or the Mars, which will also be in focus pretty soon. So we will couple of years, we will have mankind back on the moon. We will have man on Mars. Yeah, and I'm fascinated on things like Opportunity, like 𝘱𝘢𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘯𝘨, like the Apollo rover, and so on. And there are also nowadays there are also mobile robots from China and India operating on planetary bodies. Yeah, so this is what drives me bringing actually a robot to Mars. And they are actually, yeah, we have seen here the little flying robot, Perseverance and Ingenuity, yeah, which we actually followed with a lot of yeah, interest. I myself, we work a lot with the European Space Agency. Here, for instance, you see an image of two of my PhD students, 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘀 and 𝘸𝘪𝘵 doing experiments with Matthias Maurer. They were actually doing experiments in a lava tube on Lanzarote. Lanzarote is an island of Spain in the Atlantic Sea. And this lava tube, as it said, it's a lava tube. It's underground and it's expected to be very similar to lava tubes you find actually on the moon. And if one goes back to the moon and starts to live there, these lava tubes actually provide natural shelter to mankind, and therefore working with astronauts in these lava tubes, it's actually very important. Here actually we see Matthias Maurer, and Matthias Maurer was the last astronaut traveling to ISS, so it's a German astronaut. Very recently, we also made experiments with astronauts. Here actually you see a photo of a pool party in Cologne. This is actually where the neutral buoyancy facility of the European Space Agency is, so at the International Astronautical Center of the European Space Agency, and you see a bunch of my PhD students and again Matthias Maurer. And in this project actually we have created an VR headset which works underwater, such that the European Space Agency can actually test astronaut equipment or can test EVA movies, so out of space agents, out of the spacecraft movements in an underwater environment. Yeah, this is again Matthias Maurer using our diving equipment, using our homebrew VR headset, which was made to be waterproof. At the university, we actually run a couple of centers. One of the famous centers we have related to our department is the 𝘗𝘓𝑑𝑎 Center, so the Center of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science. And the second thing we are very proud of is our aerospace computer science program. So everything in aerospace that relates to computer science or, as I said, to informatics. We actually have in Würzburg a complete aerospace ecosystem. So we have a lot of startups, a lot of companies, a lot of research institutes related to aerospace computing. And one of these institutes is actually called the Center for Telematics, where I'm also the vice head from. And this center, there are roughly 60 researchers that actually focus on satellite technology and making useful applications with satellites. Now talking about satellites, we have a bunch of satellites in space, and the satellites in space are actually here, the satellite missions. The last mission we actually started was InnoCube. It started not even a month ago, so January 15. It was, of course, starting with a rocket from Elon Musk. In California, and since then actually InnoCube is operating. We also have the University of Würzburg experimental satellite 𝘈𝘥𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘯𝘨, which are already started and in orbit, and 𝘈𝑥5, which we are students of us are currently working on. We also started Sonate 1 and Sonate 2. Sonate 2 was started last year in March, and it's constantly delivering images from the Earth to our ground stations. And here, for instance, you see an image captured by Sonate 2, which actually shows the fires in Los Angeles, so the fires in the city, which happened at the beginning of January. Yeah, so live from orbit, we were actually able to watch these fires. Our biggest success was actually the University of Würzburg Satellite 3, so 𝘈𝘱 Satellite 3. This was actually launched with a Russian 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘍 rocket. It was launched in 2013 and operated for 10 years in space. Yeah, so it was a very long-lasting mission. Our satellites are so-called CubeSats, and a basic cube is actually 10 by 10 by 10 centimeters, and the challenge is to put all the equipment there. Yeah. By now we are going to larger cubes, something like 3-unit CubeSats or 6-unit CubeSats. This is now in focus. So we are focusing on small satellites that integrate a lot of scientific equipment and yeah, it's a lot of scientific equipment and a lot of computing equipment. A few things you need to apply, you need to know for applying in Würzburg. Where is it going? Here. You need for applying here actually a bachelor degree in aerospace engineering and or computer science. Yeah, so if you studied aerospace engineering or mechanical engineering or electrical engineering and you are interested in designing satellites and you know a little bit about programming, you are probably right. Yeah, so you need to be a little bit familiar or at least have a lot of interest in programming, in computer science. Yeah, you should also make very clear that you worked on a scientific thesis before, on a scientific project. Make this clear in your application, and when we invite you to an interview, then you will have the chance to present actually some scientific work. For your application, Uni Assist is not needed right now, and the application deadline, which we have actually is March 15, so you should apply pretty soon. All information I'm going to tell you is actually here available under this URL on satellite technology. This year, in 2025, this will be the last round accepted for satellite technology having this ENB, so this Elite Network of Bavaria funding, and all further applications from outside Europe will be redirected to our Master of Science in Aerospace Informatics, yeah, which is a little bit broader, not so much focused on satellites. What you need for studying in Germany and in Würzburg, you need some key qualifications such as organizational talent and the ability to work in a team. Yeah, you need to have some interest in mathematics and some complex problems. So we are a little bit more theoretical at university, but on the other hand, you are free here to continue towards PhD degrees. So we all have a lot of PhD students in our working groups. You need to work also to be able to work somehow independently. Yeah, sometimes you need to have some patience to understand and to get things, yeah, and you need English language skills, which you have to, where you have to provide the proof at your application. What is not important here to have the latest and fastest computer. If I tell you the board or the payload computer of our satellites is something in the order of a Raspberry Pi, of a Pi Zero actually. Also, there's no need for a German language, but of course it's helpful if you speak a few words or if you are willing to learn a little bit German once you are living here. What are you learning here? You will primarily learn general concepts and techniques, and we are focusing on long-lasting knowledge that you can later on go to companies, let's say approach Elon Musk to work for him, yeah. And what you learned here should help you to stand or help you throughout your complete life till you are 65 or whatever, yeah. So we are focusing here on long-lasting knowledge. You will learn how to abstract and conceptualize things, and you will learn to work actually independent. Yeah, and also you will learn several specialized knowledge in several areas. Yeah, so satellite technology is already specialized, and in your thesis you will look at a very detailed problem in this respect. How is studying actually organized? So you will have lectures and exercises. This is the main study format here at our university. This forms actually the technical basis. We do sometimes prove things that a certain controller actually is proved to be correct. Yeah. We will discuss in lectures and exercises applications to transfer and the consolidation. We also do there a little bit what you expect you to do by yourself is follow-up work and do study groups by yourself. You will have a few seminars and practical courses where you can apply actually what you have taught. Yeah, and in the end of your studies, in your masters, you will have to do independent research over a complete semester, guided by one of the professors. And in the end, you may have publishable result, and you may have then a satellite in orbit that runs actually your software. A little bit more what I do with my students. As I said, I'm driven actually by having robots on Moon and Mars. So one key application of us is, for instance, developing robots which do mining on Mars. And as roboticist, you usually apply robotics when you have the 4D. So if your job is too dull, too dirty, too dangerous, and too difficult, and if mankind goes to Moon and Mars, you will definitely have dull, dirty, dangerous, and difficult jobs to do. On the right-hand side, actually, you see a robot of us participating at a challenge at an analog mission here on Earth, where people actually dressed up like astronauts and try to live as astronauts. And this was actually done in the desert of Armenia. Again, our participation funded by Elite Network of Bavaria. So students of the Elite Network of Bavaria of our study program travel to Armenia with our robots, yeah, and teach actually astronauts or analog astronauts how to operate our robots. A further application, what I also like to mention, that there are a lot of, let's say, on-Earth applications of what we do here. For instance, not mining on Mars, but we have looked in one of our predecessing research projects into an underwater miner. So we have built a robot that was waterproof, and we have sent this underwater to actually excavate underwater, and there actually you have the same challenges as you would have a remotely operated robot on Moon and Mars. And by this, actually, I want to end my presentation. I think the 15 minutes are over. Yeah, I say see you for master studies in Würzburg, and I would like to welcome all of you here.
Thank you very much, Professor, for this very interesting presentation. We even got the comment in Q&A for that, so it was very nice. Thank you very much for this. Yeah, all the for previous program and for this program as well, all the relevant links, even Google Scholar, European Space Agency pages, and this KAIDAS Uni Würzburg link. Everything is in chat, so feel free to check that out, and in case you need to save that. Now we have time for, last but not least, to Bhakti, who will be presenting computational sciences in engineering master's program, but also interestingly, we have a student perspective. Of course, we also have a backup team for her for further questions, but it's also nice to hear students' perspective from Technische Universität Braunschweig.
My name is Bhakti Sheth, and I am a student pursuing Masters in Computational Sciences and Engineering. Today we have Darya, who is the program coordinator, and Professor 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘯𝘨. So going further, I would like to introduce CSE, or Computational Sciences in Engineering. Before that, I'll give a brief about the university. One thing as a student I'm really proud of is TU Braunschweig is a part of TU9, or the top 9 technical universities in Germany, and it really does have its perks. So we have around 87 different degree programs and around 120 institutes within the university, and I'm sure you can find your specializations under these 120 institutes. I would say TU Braunschweig is pretty international. We have like semester exchange programs, from example Erasmus, and there are a lot of research labs within these institutes. For example, I visited the wind tunnel lab in one of the institute, and it's really nice to see these things and have hands-on experience in these labs. Coming to the language competencies, so the first thing as a CSE student you would do is step into the Sprachenzentrum, or it's called the Language Center, where you would initially focus on German or English based on the requirements, and then you can also study different languages. And for students, of course, it's free of charge. We also have different trainings, like intercultural trainings. I think for CSE program, it is mandatory to attend these trainings, which kind of help you with the intercultural part. And then we also have tandem programs where you can find a partner who speaks the language you want to learn and converse with them regularly. Now coming to excursions. One of the important excursions as a part of this program was to visit Hamburg, basically the mid-sized companies in Hamburg's, network with them, get to know how the industry is and what are the requirements. So it was really insightful. There are a lot of excursions conducted by different institutes or different programs within the university, and as a student you're free to join any one of them. Then coming to the Student Council and ASTA. So ASTA is like an overall general student committee within TU Braunschweig. And then we have a Student Council specific for CSE. And we try to make this journey of your master's program much easy by, conducting, parties, helping students network, or, creating study groups where you could find students who are appearing for the same exam. And then within the universities, we have a lot of clubs. For example, I'm sure you might be familiar with Formula Student Germany, and similarly, there are a lot of clubs you could be a part of and get a hands-on experience into these areas. Yeah, this is my favorite part where we have a lot of other activities. So apart from studying, it's important to have hobbies and sports and dance, and there's so many things like arts which you could pursue. At the university, we have a lot of facilities for sports as well as other activities. And yeah, personally, I use like a few of these facilities, and yeah, you can even have like yoga classes, dance classes, and yeah, they are at a reasonable price, and you can attend them throughout the semester. Coming to the cafeterias and cafes. So as a students, it's really difficult to manage like a 3-course meal or even a 2-course meal. So this is really a lifesaver for me, especially. I just hop onto the Mensa, or it's cafeteria. Here we call it Mensa. And yeah, it just makes my life easier. We also have like a cafe which is run by students, and like a lot of things in and around the university. And since last semester, as a part of the semester fee, we also get a Deutschland ticket, so you don't really have to buy one. This is like a really cool thing. I was able to travel to Netherlands, or to the borders of Netherlands, just with this Deutschland ticket. And yeah, it's available as on your mobile phone. It's easy. Now coming to the living space, when I came here first to Germany, it was there is like a Studentenwerk or student housing by the university, which you could apply for, or you can get a shared flat on your own through different apps or website. And I would say the rent here ranges from around 300 to 450 based on the size of the apartment and the facilities available. Yep. So Braunschweig, I would say, is like perfect city. It is not too big, not too small. You can get around the city with a bike, and there are a lot of interesting things here to do. For example, there are a lot of museums you could visit. There is like a theater and concert halls. Of course, there's cinemas, and for me personally, I like to visit restaurants and try different cuisines. I think in summer, parks are really popular. A lot of events happen in the parks, like barbecue and so on. We even have like an artificial beach in Braunschweig. And yeah, also during winter, Christmas market is a must. So I would say it's a pretty lively city. And yeah, now coming to computational sciences in engineering, it's a very interdisciplinary program. You could be coming from a field of mathematics, mechanical engineering, electrical, civil, or even computational sciences. So we have like a flexible choice of engineering track. You could jump into the solids and structural mechanics, fluid mechanics, information technology, even aerospace. And we have this thing called mentoring concept. So at the start of your program, you choose a mentor from any of the institutes who kind of aligns with what you want to pursue further, and they help you, decide your study plan for the coming semesters. And so the students, these are the positions of the students who graduate from the CSC program. And these are the places on the right side. You can see the places they work at. So yeah. So I would highly motivate you to apply for the, if you are interested in computational sciences, I think this is one of the best programs. One thing I really like about it is It focuses on German and English requirements. I felt learning German was super important. It helped me get good internships or student assistant jobs, and it was really nice. I was able to fit in with some language knowledge, and also important for me was the research institutes or the projects that were carried on. So before I applied for this university, I went to the university website and checked the institutes that are there. And I was able to read what all research is going on, even contact the professors and, have a conversation or have a meeting. So I felt confident applying to this university. I did a lot of research as well and spoke to a lot of alumni or students, and yeah, that helped me make the right decision. And so you can reach out to us. So this is we have a code for the email, and also the student council has an Instagram page which you could follow, and you could just DM us, and the student council is would love to answer your questions. So yeah, the deadline for the applications this year for non-EU students is March 15th, and for EU residents or the EU students is July 15th. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Great, thank you very much, Bhakti, for the information details you shared. Now you can stop the screen share. We still see it, but it's okay. All right, so thank you very much, everybody, for being here and for the presentations and also taking questions in written. And also now we have time for a live Q&A. Very first question I would like all of you to answer is the following, if you don't mind, is to repeat, please, the application deadline and application procedure. Is it direct or with UniAssist? Because I had a mistake once for Würzburg. I wrote VPD, but I guess it's not relevant any longer. So let's just to make sure that everybody also knows it clear and correct. Just one by one, please mention the application deadline, process, and in case there are any costs involved, would be also nice. And as an addition, if it's possible to apply for multiple programs at your relevant universities. So I will just mention the universities because some people already left. So whoever feels comfortable from Jena, I think Nancy is still here, if you don't mind.
Yeah, hello to everyone. I'm Nancy Reichel, the course coordinator, and we are happy to receive your applications now until 1st of April. So we are a little bit longer, but still enough time to apply for visa and to come to Germany in time. So 1st of April is our application deadline. We don't go via our UniAssist. Me, myself, I will check your applications on the first step and then give it to the application, to the admission board. So I'm like the UniAssist. And we charge €75 for that. And what else is necessary to say? What do you want me to say?
Okay. Is it possible to apply to multiple programs?
Yes, of course, of course. You can apply for several master's courses and pay the application fee just once. And you just upload that one bank receipt, and that would be enough for us. And then you can decide which offer you like to choose. Yeah, I feel free
Wonderful.
for questions. Please contact me. The mail ID for me is given in the PowerPoint presentation which you will get. So I'm happy to speak with you, and you can also visit Jena if possible. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Now let's take the same question for Würzburg, when possible.
Well, Würzburg is pretty easy, so deadline March 15. For satellite technology, you don't need UniAssist. We have ENB funding, so we do this by ourselves. However, if you apply to other master programs, you need to provide UniAssist. And of course, it's possible to apply to more than one master program at the same time. Yeah, but for all other master programs, you need UniAssist. For satellite technology, not.
Thank you so much. So yeah, please ignore my messages I wrote VPD, so it's no longer relevant. And I also asked my team members to change this information on our page as well. And I hope it will be edited soon. And for Braunschweig, I don't know who, I saw Daria already wrote it in the chat, the application deadlines, but if any of you wants to also voice it, how it's done, would be nice. You're muted.
I still am mute. Yeah, sorry. Our applications deadlines are different for non-Europe residents as from January 1st to March 15. So right now you can apply if you are from, for example, from India or other countries. And if you are from Europe or you don't need a visa requirement for your application, the deadline will be June 1st to July 15. And it depends of master programs to applying for multiple master programs. So I have to check it. You can just write me an email and yeah. And the third question was...
The application is through your Uni system, right? You need to...
Yes, we have...
You're not using Uni system.
We have an online system, yeah.
And I guess it also has some costs.
Yes, but I'm not sure. 16, 17, Bhakti?
Okay, no worries.
You know, okay.
Anyways,
but I think Bhakti...
Sorry, Daria, what was the question?
The application fee?
How much is the application?
It was 70 euros while I was applying. I'm not
okay.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still 70. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. All right. And I have a question for Würzburg. It says, does the program cover emerging satellite technologies such as AI for space application, quantum communications, or in-orbit servicing?
Yes, all of these three topics are covered. So we do a lot of AI, we do a lot of quantum communication and also in-orbit servicing and chasing a non-cooperative spacecraft. This is all into focus of our program. So you can all learn this and later on you can get a PhD exactly on these three topics if you like.
Thank you. I have a general question again to all of the speakers. Are there any prep programs or summer courses that you offer at the university, which could be kind of additional complementary to the master's programs? I think the first question that came was somewhat in this direction. It also refers to internships, but mainly I think the person was checking for this 1 or 2 week summer courses or any preparation thing. I don't know, Nancy, if you want to start, or...
Yes. We have a pre-course which is called Language and Cultural Program. So you can register for a 2 weeks language course, which has just a very small fee because it's funded from us. So if you have an admission, you can register for this German course, 2 weeks course. It is online, so you can even join if you are not in Germany yet. And secondly, after arriving, we have a cultural program which goes 2 weeks as well. And students from the university offer so many activities. So this is what we offer. Apart from that, I sent an email with a lot of support information how the students from the different field can prepare for the interdisciplinary course for the self-study.
Thanks so much. Professor Nuchter, was it anything similar with...
Well, we sent out a reading list before. And usually students arrive in Würzburg October 1st, while studying actually starts October 15. So the time between October 1st and October 15 we use with a small preparational course. For this course, we always have a very special external lecturer from University of Finland in Aalto. And he actually, there actually we play the computer game Kerbal Space Program. And by playing this computer game Kerbal Space Program, you learn a lot of satellite technology. You get head-on experience on creating orbits and designing orbits such that your rockets finally can land on the moon. This is a lot of fun and it's a nice introduction.
Thank you so much. Now Team Braunschweig, I don't know, whoever wants to take this one.
Yeah, maybe I take it as the head of the program. Yes, there's some courses that are offered just before the winter term starts. So typically happening during the second half of September. Topics that typically a bit to recatch the fundamentals from the bachelor programs, like math and solid mechanics and similar topics.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I have a last question for today for Professor Noether. It's about, could you please repeat it once again? Is it the last cohort this year that you are accepting? Will the program close afterwards?
It's the last international cohort we are accepting, since experience tells us that a few international students arrive late to have them, so to say, finishing within this funding period. It's the last one we accept. From Europe and from Germany, we will also accept next fall. So in fall 2026, another cohort, but then this study program is ending. And we have the new program on aerospace computer science, where we do similar things, but not only satellites, but aerospace. So it also includes, aircraft.
Thank you so much. Wonderful. I see no more open questions. I thank once again everybody for the participation, presentation, and taking the questions.